So my girlfriend just told me maybe it would be a great idea to give each other a break. But she doesn't want to lose me either. I'm confused right now. She assures me she just wants the spark we had when we got into the relationship, and that she wants to work on herself but doesn't want to lose me. I don't know what to do. I feel lost. I need some opinions as I have no one to talk to about this. Edit. We finally talked and we're going our separate ways, but she still wants to keep in touch. I don't want to lose you. I forgot to mention this is the second time she's asked. Anyway, this really hurts. Story 1. Translation from Womanese to English. She is no longer sexually attracted to you and wants to explore other options, yet still wants you to stick around in case she can't find anything better. Dump her, maintain your self-respect, and enjoy life as a single man. Story 2. In my personal experience, women want a break when there's another man they want to be with, but they're unsure if it's going to last. You're a stable, solid guy with a good income who treats her well. You're the safe option. There's an attractive guy at the gym who lives with his parents and is planning on becoming rich by trading non-fungible tokens. She really wants to be with him but knows he's a bad choice in the long run. She pauses your relationship, enjoys herself for a couple of months, and then returns. Story 3. Don't even play into this. Couples who mutually want to reignite the flame or whatever the issue may be, do it together. They don't go on a break and then come back. Don't waste your time, brother. Move along. Story 4. Many great pieces of advice here. My guard would immediately be up. I would permanently leave, but I have been cheated on before and sworn never again. But to be logical, question. Is there a reason for the break? If you guys have been fighting or having a tough time and are exhausted, it might be a legitimate chance to take a breather and decide what you both really want. This is the if you love something, set it free. If it comes back, it was meant to be moment. This can be a very good thing for a relationship or it can be a very amicable end. If, however, this has blindsided you and you thought things were okay, there's a good chance she wants to try hooking up with someone else. There's no way back from this. At best, she'll be with someone else, and you'll decide to leave for good with a broken heart. At worst, you still take her back, and she gives you sexually transmitted diseases. Not an easy decision, but do trust your gut. It's usually right. Story 5. Speaking as someone who's currently on a month-long break, I figure this may help you, seeing as I'm kind of you from the future, if you decide to go on a break with your girlfriend. I've gone fully down the rabbit hole reading all of these comments, and they all present one of 3 options. 1. The overwhelming majority of them claim the exclusive purpose of a break is to sleep with other people while keeping you as a safe option. In second place, we have the coward's breakup. Someone who wants to feed you a temporary lie to ease the pain, when in reality it's going to hurt much more when you realize the truth. I've gone through this thread, and so far I've seen maybe 3 comments from people claiming to have come back stronger from breaks. This is the exception, not the rule. You need to be something really special to fall into this category. My immediate thought was number 1 or number 2 when she first suggested it, but I thought she had good reasons and I was really hoping for number 3. The break conversation wasn't unexpected. She has her doubts about our relationship that she's expressed in the past. She has a long-distance move to a new job coming up in a few months. She needs time to think and see if we're truly compatible before anyone makes any big life-altering moves. Right? All of this was preceded by a degradation of our communication in the month prior. We went from talking every day about anything and everything to the driest conversations. She replaced me with another one of her friends on board game night. She stopped letting me sleep over, claiming she needed her nights to think about her life and the upcoming big changes. New job, different state. She turned me down for sex multiple times, saying she was just not feeling it. She put me in limbo for 10 days on January 6th so she could deal with other problems in her life. On the 10-day mark, she asked for a month-long break. I gave both of them to her because I trusted her. Of course, there have been some red flags that I can do nothing about at this point. During the second break conversation, I had to convince her that a break is a pause on a relationship. That's what differentiates it from a full breakup. There is no change in exclusivity. She said word for word, "There's nothing wrong with evaluating your partner against what else is out there. The way she phrased it, she needed a break from everyone, including me, which was fine. I totally get the need for time alone. The problem was, she didn't change a thing outside of me. She still hung out with her closest friends like clockwork. She still hosted social events at her place. The one time I actually managed to hang out with her one-on-one since the new year started. She was on her phone the whole brunch date. I genuinely have no clue how this person feels about me anymore. I tried asking her what emotion comes to mind when she thinks of me, and her answer was stress. I know she's not an overly affectionate person, but that one really hurt. For the first week, I was checking her location like an insecure madman. I am by no means proud of this, but I had basically signed myself up for a whole month of relationship limbo, and I needed some certainty that I wasn't being played for a fool. For the first week, everything was cool. No potentially sketchy locations. No more red flags, until she cut my access to her location out of the blue. At this point, we've had maybe one full conversation since the break started. The rest has been like 10 texts one day per week, if that. My last text to her was an invite to my birthday, which she still hasn't seen, I'm sure. I'm not sure why I allowed myself to be put in this situation. If you're able to make sense of this incoherent mess, please learn from my mistakes. Anyone who is willing to put you in relationship limbo without even communicating regularly is not worth your time, energy, or peace. Trust me, it will completely mess up your peace. I thought I would be able to handle this, but it's driving me insane. All my close friends have told me it's over from her end, or that it should be over from my end. The only thing keeping me in it is that I miss the fun, kind, caring human being I was dating back in August. I keep expecting her to show up and being disappointed. I've done the on-again, off-again relationship before, and it's never been a positive experience. The only reason I somewhat trust that she hasn't been with anyone else is because she told me from the beginning that this break wasn't to sleep around, and she promised if it came to that, she'd just break it off. This honestly just goes to show how much trust one have in someone who doesn't seem to value me at all anymore. I don't know what I'm expecting once the break deadline of March 1st rolls around. By that point, I won't have seen her for 2 whole months. Anyone who even remotely cares about you, anyone who's in love with you, would go crazy after not hearing from you within 3 days, max. At least that's what I thought. Luckily, these weeks apart have also given me time to think. I'm not anyone's backup, and I refuse to be. I'm staying in this on the now very slim chance she actually meant what she told me in the beginning, but if there's even a hint of anyone else in the picture, I'm out. I should have never agreed to this in the first place and completely regret this experience. If anyone says they want a break in the future, I'm gonna run away so fast. In the meantime, there's nothing I can do outside of torpedoing an already failing relationship, so I'm just going to do me and ride it out for curiosity's sake. I may be delusional for still thinking I have a chance at this working out, but hey, I did it, so now you don't have to. I got into this fully optimistic and hopeful, and I am here to tell you that even with the best intentions of a break, time will wear you down. Scenarios that didn't seem plausible at the beginning start to make more and more sense, until the worst-case scenario looks more likely than the best. To anyone who made it this far, thank you, and please learn from my mistakes. Story 6. Work on herself. Means she wants to have sex with at least one guy, maybe a whole list, and have you waiting for her when she's done. If she even mentions wanting a break, just move on. Story 7. I'm a woman, and she wants you to hang around while she explores other options. The spark will come back when the person she is exploring doesn't work out. She can then be excited to run back to you. Cue spark reignited. Either we are together or we aren't. I don't break. Story 8. Trying to recapture the thrill of new love is a distraction from working towards a healthy, mature relationship. Better end the relationship and start over with someone else. Story 9. A break doesn't mean you have to stop being exclusive. Maybe you all see each other too often and she wants a couple of weeks alone. You need to specify what you are looking for. If she wants a break but not to stay exclusive, then she basically wants to be with other people, but that might not always be the case. Story 10. Dump that woman. She is putting you on hold while she shops for something better. While she is enjoying herself elsewhere, she wants to make sure she keeps you as a secondary placeholder just in case. Should she fail in finding someone else, she takes comfort in the fact that you'll take her back. If I were you, I would treat it nonchalantly, turn your back, and walk away from her smoothly, treating her as a temporary option. And here's the other thing. Knowing that she's doing this and then she comes back to you, how would you feel being the least desired person she selected? It may not affect you at that moment, but down the road you will feel miserable. Story 11. Sorry family, a guy from the nether realm is already talking to her, or a guy she told you not to worry about is about to take the soul. Save yourself the hurt and let her be if you all can't work through the problems together. Just imagine if you stay with her and something really major happens. It will hurt, but don't stay in something too long that's obviously at the end of the road and then get doubly hurt just because it worked out for a month after the break. Story 12. There is no such thing as a break in a relationship that will last. Break means break up. It sounds like she wants to be with someone else and then come back to you. And if you find out, she can say, well, we were on a break. Story 13. If she didn't want to lose you, she would be trying to work through your issues. Specifically asking for a break in the relationship 99% means she has another guy in the wings. She just doesn't want to cheat, and she doesn't want to risk throwing away the guy she sees as husband material. So she plans to be with this other guy and then expects you to welcome her back afterward, or some similar variation of that. No woman who is committed to one man sends him out into the world as single based on some kind of relationship status technicality. If you think about it, there's really only one reason for her to set it up like this. Story 14. Alright guys, I forgot to mention that this is the second time she's asked. We've finally come to a conclusion to go our separate ways, but she still wants to talk to me. She says, I don't want to lose you, which is frustrating. Anyway, it's crazy how much this hurts, and the crazy part is I was going to propose soon. Story 15. My ex did the same thing. She was just too cowardly to tell it as it was. Once they leave and stop fighting for your relationship, that is when you have to let go. You'll never be able to trust that they'd actually stay and fight for it the second time around. Some people think they can live in the honeymoon phase forever and believe that that's what they always deserve. They watch too many period dramas and romantic movies, and suddenly, their boring lives seem bleak, and they think they just need to find that one hero or guy. The thing is, he's just temporary. So they leave people who would have loved them forever for some fireworks that will never last long. I know that men can be unwise, but women can be irrational sometimes. They get too influenced by social media, TikTok, and all kinds of nonsense. I think a lot of people have lost the ability to keep a commitment through hardships because they believe they deserve better. What they end up deserving is nothing because they're selfish, so they'll only find selfish partners. They put themselves first, so they'll only find partners who do the same. In a good relationship, you put each other first because you're a team, you're partners. You're no longer a single entity. You're a combined unit. Story 16. Either she wants to try and find someone she deems better, but with the assurance of being able to come back to you if that doesn't work out, or she already has someone in mind and wants you as a backup plan if that someone doesn't want to start something with her. Seriously, either you break up or you stay together as a couple. Everything else is nonsense. You could just break up and become a couple again later if it works out that way, but that still should be a breakup and not a break or pause. Story 17. Maybe it would be a great idea to give each other a break, but she doesn't want to lose me either. This means she wants to be free to see if she can find someone better than you, but keep you on hold in case she doesn't. The general rule of thumb here is that if either you or your partner want or feel you need a break from the relationship, you need to break up permanently with no hard feelings. Both of you are, of course, entitled to decide you're not satisfied with your current relationship and may want to explore other options, but that means the relationship ends. Period. Story 18. She's already talking and sleeping with the next person, so let it go and connect with one of her friends. You will feel better about it in the long run. Story 19. I want a break. Translation. I want to see or sleep with another guy. She doesn't want to lose me either. Translation. I want to keep you as an alternative while I do it. Break up with her. Story 20. I have some bad news. She wants to have sex with other people. That's what taking a break means. Break up with her and move on. This relationship is over. Story 21. Yeah, no brother. I'm sorry, but it's done. Don't give in to the let's keep in touch nonsense either. You're not her emotional support blanket. She'll just keep using you, and you'll just be prolonging your heartbreak. Block or delete her from everything and go full no contact from the beginning. Don't learn the hard way like me. Story 22. Cut the cord hard and fast. Pick up a rebound chick as soon as possible. The easiest way to get over one is to get under one. After you have your palate cleansed, take a month to get your head straight, then listen to your gut from there. Story 23. Need more details. To some people, a break can just mean some time away from each other, but we remain committed. For others, it means we're not in a relationship until this period ends. The former may be okay as long as it only happens once in your relationship. It implies that you need your own outlets and spaces that don't involve each other. If it becomes common, that implies you're incompatible. The latter is an attempt to establish the freedom to explore other options, and if you're back together when it's over, expect to be in an open relationship. If your partner has no interest in clarifying, they want the latter, but want to have plausible deniability so that you're agreeing to the former. This person just wants to cheat on you without feeling bad about it.